Friends, 1449 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. And though a little late today in the evening, in India going to be 8 p.m., I thought of making video today. And as far as ceasefire between Hamas and Israel is concerned, it is 125 days now. Though this ceasefire is a joke, I am not going to talk much on this today. And similar situation exists in Syria, adjacent Lebanon, and there are no peace either in Sudan or elsewhere where the war is continuing. As far as Iran is concerned, there does not seem to be any agreement between imperialist USA and Iran itself. Trump says he is sending second aircraft carrier to coast of Iran. While there are reports, as per Chinese satellites, which must be true, that US has positioned Patriot air defense missiles in Qatar. There is no surprise that most of the Arab countries or in Middle East Asia, the rulers are on their knees, not today but since long, to US imperialism and the Zionist regime, Israel. Now let us see what is happening in Ukraine-Russian war. In southern Ukraine, in Zaporizhia Oblast, in Vasilivka-Kamyansky front, Ukrainians are continuously carrying out counterattacks with reserves, and they have advanced and taken positions in north of Primorsky and outskirts of Rykne. They also secured position in Novobaykivsky and Novoyakovlivka, Lyukyanivka, and on the outskirts of Pavlivka. Slightly east in Huliaipol, similar situation exists, though partially. Ukrainians, after taking over Ternuvate and Prydorozhne, have advanced in northern part of Kastsiv. Here, however, Russians advanced and took over Zaliznikne. Adjacent in Dnipropetrovsk, Ukrainians advance on broad line for Pokrovsky Veliko-Mykolivka to south and have taken over High Oleksivka and Orestopil in the last week of January, and now they have advanced on the outer skirts of Osnivka and Stepov. However, in Zaporizhia again, the Russians made some gains in Novopavlivka front, and they advance in the center of Ivanivka and in which is northwest of Robotin area. Now we come to the eastern part. In Pokrovsk area, Russians made gains in Mirnograd-Sakho front area, and they took over Rodinsky completely and made their position stronger after advancing west from there. Now we come to Konstantinivka-Slavyansk area. From Soledar, Russians took over Novomarkov, and further they advanced and took over Bondarne as well, and Privilya Mykoforivka area also they gained. And similar situation in Sivers'k, Russians advanced towards Zakitne area. In Konstantinivka, they advance in the eastern part of Konstantinivka in Dachas. Slavyansk front, they gained towards and advance Sviatogorsk forest and Drobishevo area. Now we come to northeast in Lyman direction. Russians advance in Komunalny and almost took over. This is a micro district, a small area, and also advance in northeast Lyman and eastern Lyman. Further up, Borivskaya area, Russians advanced in Bohuslavka, while Ukrainians gained in Borivska Andrivka. Further up, Russians took over Chuhunivka in Kolodyazi area. As far as Kupiansk is concerned, situation seems to be still stabilized and Russians hold only 13% of the city. Coming to north Ukraine, Volchansk area, Russians advanced on many directions, 200 meters in forest belt near Staritsa, 150 meters southwest of Semenivka, 150 meters in Vovochansky Khutori, and more than 300 meters in Khatne. That's a good gain for them. And in Sumy, they made gains in several forest belts, 800 meters plus towards Sumy direction. Heavy interdiction missions continuing from both the sides. Counter strikes are on against each other's energy and military sectors. Well, I have given sufficient brief on what is happening on the ground. Basically, in south, Ukrainians have made counter gains and forced Russians to retreat. However, in east, north, and in Sumy, Russians continue gaining grounds. As far as peace between the two countries is concerned, unlikely, but there is some development. Several European Union countries have started talking openly that they should directly talk to Russia with their own terms and conditions, like France and many other countries. Zelensky, in the meantime, has said that in coming spring, he is planning to hold general elections as well as referendum on peace, which is being led by the USA. Probably the main part will be where to hand over 20% of Ukrainian land to Russia or not. Will Starmer hold his position for longer time? Let us see, and that's all for the day. Thank you.